Welcome to Flip the Script with Vic, a sacred space for honest, unfiltered, and sometimes taboo conversations between women walking the path of truth, healing, and soul remembrance. What started as my personal exploration has become a communal prayer, a podcast devoted to amplifying women's stories in their own words. I'm your host, Victoria Nielsen, intuitive healer, mama, and space holder for the divine feminine. Here, we gather as cycle breakers, mothers, mystics, creatives, witches, and wild ones, flipping the script on what it really means to be a woman in today's world. Through raw interviews, intimate solo casts, and brave conversations, we'll chat about motherhood, mysticism, psychedelics, spirituality, and more. You'll be reminded that your voice matters, that your truth matters, that you're here to walk in beauty. So be the prayer, and let's flip the script. Are you ready? Let's jump on in. Hello, loves. Welcome back to another episode of Flip the Script with Vic. It's your host, Victoria Nielsen. Oh my gosh, I have the hiccups. It is your monthly energy forecast from the Akashic Records. So as always, we release the coming month a week before the month starts so that you get all of the information that you need to know about the energy, the energetic weather, kind of what's happening, and what to look forward to over the coming weeks. So I can't even believe it. We're in June, and this year has just completely flown by. And I feel like there have been multiple times that I have personally timeline jumped and gone through time warps. And I feel like the same can be said for society. And that honestly, right now in June, things feel disparate, and it's almost like different realities are happening simultaneously at the same time. So those of us that have been doing the Ascension work, that have been clearing our 3D bodies of energy and things that no longer serve us, we're able to see things from a much higher perspective. We're able to see things from a more balanced perspective. Then you have a lot of the world that has been stuck in the 3D muck, that is in the literal shit, that is fighting over stupid shit like being a Republican or a Democrat instead of being a goddamn fucking human. Those kinds of people are going to continue to be stuck in 3D matters and stuck in anger and stuck in low vibration emotions. So don't be surprised if you see the fault lines. The fault lines are exposed in June. And I almost feel like being exposed, or like the cracks in the foundation, like that's really what June is showing us, that there is still more that is breaking down in our society. And I know maybe you don't want to hear that, but if you actually look up the astrological chart of the United States, like we're in our dark night of the soul currently. And if you're listening to this podcast, you most likely know what that means because you have experienced a dark night of the soul as a conscious human being. And you know that that shit is hard. It is not easy. It is something that you have to decide that you want to climb out of. And so until America can decide that it wants to fucking climb out of its own asshole, this is the reality that we're going to be living in. And, you know, I'm channeling this information from the Akashic Records. If you don't know what the Akashic Records are, please hit pause and go back and listen to an older episode that really explains what this energetic frequency is all about. But essentially, in like a little elevator pitch, the Akashic Records is really just energy that I'm tapping into that allows me information in the moment. So this is a channeled reception for June. It does not mean it's a psychic reading. It does not mean that it's like foretold. It is energy through my lens of what I think is going to happen energetically as I tap into this information that I am receiving from the Akashic Records. Get all that? Because it's kind of trippy. All you need to know really is to take with you what resonates and leave what doesn't, because that's really what any of these energetic updates are about, is to show you what's happening on a macro level so that you can then better understand what's happening to you on a micro level. Because of the planetary alignments, because of the energetic shifts, Uranus is in Gemini. Like, it's been in Gemini for a little bit. You might be feeling kind of that chaotic trickster energy of Gemini. And a lot of us might be feeling like we are finally getting a clear view of what's happening, that kind of the wool has been pulled over our eyes and now we're able to see. Well, the problem with being able to see is that you can't unsee. And so many of us in June are grappling with what we can't unsee. We want to put the genie back in the bottle. We want things to go back to the way that they used to be. But guess what? That's not possible. The toothpaste is out of the tube. how many euphemisms can I use in one go? But really, like, you can't stop what's already happening. You can't stop this dark night that is already alchemizing. So in June, how can you just continue to raise your vibration so that you are coming from that higher perspective instead of getting caught in the chaos and the muck of the lower perspectives? Because they're going to get louder. They're going to realize what they're doing isn't working and that people aren't happy about it. And so people in the 3D, in those lower vibrations that are letting themselves stay stuck there or are in environments that are kind of keeping them there, it's going to get really loud. And it's already been pretty loud. So what I want to ask you is, how much louder does it need to get for you to listen? Really, what's coming in right now is that Harry Styles song. Like, are you listening yet? Are you listening yet? June is showing you all of the ways that actually, like, you've been wearing rose-colored glasses, and that, you know, maybe the house that you thought that you had built around you that looked so beautiful with all of its like golden fixtures and pretty things is really like cracking and falling apart. And that, like, when you actually look closer at the plaster, like, you see the cracks in the seams, you see like the things crumbling. That is the energy of June, is like the crumbling still a bit, you know? And I feel like that's going to continue through the rest of the year, and that unless you're willing to, again, slow down and move and process this energy through the body, you may be feeling a lot of like ascension symptom. Jesus, can't even say that. Ascension symptoms in June, meaning you may feel more tired than usual. You may feel more cranky than usual, maybe angrier than usual. You may find that the types of foods that you want to eat are very different from what you're usually like craving or gravitating towards. And you know what? Listen to your body. Listen to what your body is trying to tell you, because it is a little antenna. It is taking in all this energetic information all the time. And when it needs to slow down, it's going to let you know. When it needs a moment to recalibrate, when it needs more water, you're basically a fucking houseplant. Like, when you need more sunlight, more water, more food, and more rest, your body's going to let you know in June. And I'm begging you to listen before it starts screaming at you. I'm begging you to listen and make the adjustments before you get into the full swing of summer, because the energy of June is already pretty fast. The energy of July feels almost like even faster. And again, those kind of like time warps. If you have felt that, like, in the first 6 months of 2026, or 5 months, I guess, it's only going to get more and more and more. And apologies for clearing my throat chakra as I'm talking about this, but I feel like this is a hard truth that a lot of people aren't really wanting to hear. They're wanting to keep their heads in the sand. They're wanting to just go about their daily lives and think that nothing's going to affect them, and that as long as they stay in their little bubble, everything's going to be fine. That's not true. You have to take your head out of the sand. You have to start paying attention. You have to be in charge of your own energy. You are responsible for your own energy and for what you do with that energy. And so June really, it's the energy of the body, and it's your energetic capacity. Like, if you are allowing yourself to see things from a higher perspective, you are doing things to take care of yourself and your energy, you're enacting these energetic boundaries, you are going to feel a lot better about not only yourself, but about your community and about humanity, because you're going to have more energy to actually do something, to actually, you know, make changes in your everyday life to feel better. Okay? Like, that's just a natural fact. Like, when you come from a higher consciousness, you're coming from a higher vibrational frequency. You know, when you stay in that chaos, when you stay in that fear, it is such a low vibration emotion. And they're already trying to keep you scared, and they're already trying to keep you afraid, and they're already trying to pit you against each other. And so being that higher vibration of love as much as you can in June, being of love and sending out that love, feels like an important message to also share, that really we need to be that love that we want to see in the world. And I know it sounds really cliche, but we can do that by taking care of ourselves and our bodies. And that's actually like the least selfish thing that you can do, is to take care of yourself so that you can then give to others. Because there is a law of giving and taking, right? There's that law of reciprocity. And when you're trying to pour from an empty cup, it's going to feel harder. It just is. Like that's how it is. So taking care of ourselves in June is important, and coming together in community in June, like being in person with people, coming out of your hermit mode. Like this is the energy of the beginning of summer, right? Like we're outside, we're communing with folks, like we're eating lunch al fresco, like being playful, like carry that playfulness from May. The joy being your rebellion in May was that big message. That continues in June, like while the US is having the dark night of the soul, while people are like freaking the fuck out in the 3D because they're stuck in this fear mentality and this fear energy, like use play to help you move up the vibrational and emotional scale. Okay. Because there are going to be moments that you find yourself in anxiety and in fear. It's natural. You're human. That fear response comes up because your body wants to keep you safe. Your mind wants to keep you safe. Like it doesn't want to see you hurt. But you have the capacity to override that with your inner truth and your inner knowing when you start to tell the difference between your anxiety and your truth. And that's going to happen when you continue to tap into the vessel of the body as an antenna. When you're checking in with yourself to see, like, do you actually want to do the things that you've committed yourself for this month? Do you actually have the energetic capacity? Do you need to incorporate your breath work again, those like higher consciousness practices? Like, I know that's been a really big message for me, and this is coming from me and not the Akashic Records at this moment, but it is a good reminder that like going back to the basics of what you know energetically. So whether that's something like a very basic breathwork practice or just stretching and yoga, but like those foundational things are going to become important in June, because again, when you start to work on those foundations, you're going to notice where there's cracks. You're going to notice where you need to put your attention in June, so that again, you can ride the energy and end up better at the end of the month than you maybe were at the beginning of the month. So let me just see now if there's any other messages or thoughts or things coming through in June. Really, June is the energy of what you make it. Every month, right, has this energy of infinite possibility. But really, like, as Uranus continues to move in Gemini, as we have all of this beautiful energy in May, we had all these like Kazimis and just different things happening like in the astrology that really is activating our wealth codes and activating a lot for people that are doing the work. Like as you move through May, June is also a little bit of slowing down. Like it is the hottest and highest point of light in the year in the middle of the month. Maybe that means this year you do like a yin yoga class. Okay. Like I want you to start questioning the things that you've always done as your foundations and your routines, and come back to the things that feel really good, and then play with how you want to approach things. Okay. Because that shift in yin energy, that slow down, is going to be how you receive all of the abundance and the beauty of June. It's going to be how you receive all of that infinite possibility that's there for you. Okay. Because at the start of every month, right, it's a blank page. Like you can really accomplish, be, do, embody whatever you want every single month, regardless of the energy, right? It's a choice and it's a decision, but it certainly helps when you know what you're navigating, and you know what kind of support you may need. So speaking of that support, if you are looking for just, helping hand because you're in transition, you don't know what you want to do next, you are unsure of your next step, reach out, send me a DM, Victoria Margot Nielsen on Instagram. I would love to support you. I would love to help you. If you've been liking this podcast, please like, rate, subscribe, review, share it with a friend. Are these monthly energy forecasts hitting for you? Do we no longer love them? What are we thinking? Please let me know. I do them for you so that you can be prepared. And they're also kind of an energetic transmission. So as you listen to them, maybe you're like doing the dishes, you're driving in the car, you're working out, whatever you're doing. I have the Akashic Records open as I'm channeling. So you are in that energetic frequency. You are getting an attunement and an upgrade just by listening to this energy. Even if it doesn't feel like it, I promise you, these are energetic transmissions and upgrades in my energetic frequency, in my voice, in my codes. I am sending them all to you, letting them light up every single one of your cells. Yes. And now just envisioning yourself in a beautiful golden bubble. And I'm going to close the records here for everyone. Thinking of you in your highest light, thinking of you as your most evolved self, thinking of you as your most favorite self, as I call all of that energy back. And the records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Thank you for being here. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys next week. Love you.